The movie begins with a boy named Tim, a child shaped by loss but defined by joy, living in near poverty after losing his mother, yet carrying a laugh so bright and infectious it lifts everyone around him without effort. Despite the cramped home, the worn clothes, and the constant struggle, Tim's laughter becomes his shield against the world, a sound that makes strangers smile and turns ordinary moments into something magical. His closest companion is Ida, the baker's daughter, and together they share small joys while Tim clings tightly to the only remaining family he has, his father Hans, a gentle man who dreams big despite always losing money at the racetrack. Before we go deeper, don't forget to subscribe right now. It truly helps us grow together and keep bringing you epic fantasy movie recaps like this. Now let's get straight back into Tim's story as his fragile happiness begins to crack. Hans regularly takes Tim to the racetrack, betting on horses he never wins with, yet promising his son that one day they'll eat like kings at a luxury restaurant, a promise fueled more by hope than reality. That fragile family balance shatters when Hans introduces his new partner, Lydia, and her cruel son Erwin, who quickly invade Tim's space and sense of safety. Erwin destroys the cardboard castle Tim's late mother made for him, and when Tim fights back, he's punished instead, forced to apologize while Lydia blindly defends her son. The injustice cuts deep, and though Tim still laughs in public, something inside him begins to fracture, especially as his home no longer feels like home. One night at the movie theater, Tim's laughter spreads uncontrollably through the crowd, turning the entire room into a storm of joy, except for one silent observer. A tall, elegant man in dark glasses watches Tim closely, unmoved, calculating, as if measuring the boy's value. The very next day, Hans miraculously wins a race betting on a horse named Sherlock Holmes, yet receives only a single coin due to technicalities, but keeps his promise anyway and takes Tim to a luxury hotel. They're humiliated and turned away because of their appearance, a moment Hans swallows with quiet dignity for his son's sake. Not long after, tragedy strikes when Hans dies in a construction accident, leaving Tim utterly alone, grieving beside an unmarked grave with no stone, no name, and no justice. Overwhelmed with grief and anger, Tim runs away and finds himself at the racetrack, where fate places a single coin at his feet. The mysterious man from the theater appears again and urges Tim to bet it on a horse named Westwinder, promising everything is already arranged. Against all logic, the horse wins, and Tim collapses in tears, realizing he has finally achieved his father's dream, only far too late. Two strange men named Behemoth and Bile approach him, pretending to help, secretly stealing his winnings, leaving him betrayed and desperate. When the elegant stranger reappears, scolding Tim for losing the money, he introduces himself as Baron Lefouet, the richest man in the world, and hands Tim another coin, setting the trap even tighter. When Behemoth and Bile steal Tim's last coin, the Baron presents a chilling proposal. Tim will never lose a bet again if he sells something valuable: his laughter. At first, Tim laughs at the idea until a real contract is produced, promising infinite wealth and flawless luck. Driven by desperation and grief, Tim signs, and the transformation is instant. His face goes blank, his joy vanishes, and though he wins his next bet effortlessly, there is no happiness left in his eyes. When he returns to the movies with Ida, everyone laughs except him, and for the first time, his gift is gone, replaced by an eerie emptiness that even he doesn't fully understand. Behind the scenes, the Baron returns to his office, revealing Behemoth and Bile as his employees, magically disguising them as rats to spy on Tim. When Tim lies to Ida about where the money came from, claiming he stole it, the rumor spreads across the city, nearly ruining him. Though the truth eventually clears his name, Lydia keeps the money, and Tim grows isolated as classmates accuse him of cheating and avoid him entirely. Ida tries to apologize, but Lydia and Erwin intercept her, deepening the emotional distance between the two friends. Meanwhile, Tim's luck continues to grow, but with every win, his world becomes colder, quieter, and lonelier. Suspicious of Tim's impossible streak, Lydia drags him back to the racetrack, where his chosen horse appears to lose, until the top three are disqualified, making Tim the winner once again. Lydia snatches the money greedily, but Tim feels nothing, haunted only by the wish that his father were alive to see it. Wandering alone, Tim pauses outside the same luxury hotel that once rejected them, where a receptionist named Kresimir recognizes his talent and challenges him to a card game. Tim wins and asks not for money, but for a job, choosing to abandon gambling altogether and earn his own living, leaving behind his step-family with nothing but a note. At the hotel, Tim works quietly, searching desperately for Baron Lefouet to reclaim his laughter, but no one knows where the man is gone. When Behemoth and Bile appear again as rats, Tim saves them instead of killing them, planting doubt in their loyalty for the first time. Reading the fine print of his contract, Tim discovers a loophole. If he ever loses a bet, the deal is broken. Seeing hope, he bets with Kresimir that the Baron will arrive the next day, and once again, luck bends reality in his favor. When the Baron arrives, Tim confronts him, only to learn that losing a bet is nearly impossible under the contract's magic. The Baron removes his glasses, revealing blue eyes identical to Ida's, triggering Tim's fear that something terrible has happened. Racing to the bakery, Tim finds Ida changed, her eyes stolen, her vision altered by a deal she made with the Baron to bring Tim back. Using his cursed luck one more time, Tim restores her sight, causing the Baron to go blind instead. Though victorious, Tim still cannot smile, and when he returns to the hotel, Kresimir confesses his suspicion that the Baron's name, spelled backward, means devil. That night, darkness strikes as Kresimir is attacked by a shadow in the elevator, while Tim is told the Baron has died and named him his heir. Tim awakens in the Baron's mansion, only to discover the truth. The Baron faked his death, transferring his fortune to Tim so the boy would unknowingly win a bet and inherit everything. The Baron reveals his true nature as a malevolent entity who engineers misfortune worldwide to profit from despair, grooming Tim to become his successor. If this power were suddenly placed in your hands like this, would you try to escape it or use it? The Baron vanishes, leaving Tim trapped in luxury, pressured to gamble endlessly as each bet strips away another piece of his soul, tightening the noose around his fate. Lydia and Erwin arrive seeking wealth, and under the Baron's influence, Tim uses his luck for revenge, forcing them from the house and unleashing cruel misfortune upon them. Though the Baron urges him to go further, Tim stops himself before crossing a deadly line, proving his humanity isn't completely gone. The Baron warns that to protect others, Tim must isolate himself, especially from Ida. When Ida later arrives at the mansion, Tim pretends to be cold, making a bet to help Kresimir awaken, then cruelly sends her away, breaking her heart while the Baron watches in satisfaction. The final stage begins with a grand betting championship announced in Tim's name, supposedly for orphan children, drawing the entire city to the racetrack. The Baron spots a laughing orphan boy and suggests Tim steal the child's laughter, offering Tim a chance to smile again while creating the next successor. Tim hesitates, his soul nearly consumed, as Ida and Kresimir arrive secretly and beg Behemoth and Bile for help. Remembering Tim's kindness, the two finally rebel, hiding him beneath the stage where Ida proposes the final bet that could break the contract forever. Ida claims Tim is incapable of smiling, betting the opposite, knowing his own cursed luck will force him to win and restore his laughter. Tim hesitates, torn between ambition and memory, as the Baron's rage unleashes a violent storm above. Ida tells Tim a childhood joke they once shared, reigniting something buried deep inside him. As the Baron storms in, Tim finally resists, accepts the bet, and unleashes a surge of power that shatters the contract, forcing the Baron to retreat as the storm collapses into silence. With the deal broken, Tim smiles for the first time in what feels like forever, embracing Ida as the nightmare ends. Together with Kresimir, they leave the racetrack and encounter the Baron one final time, now old and weakened, crying diamonds in a last attempt at temptation. Tim refuses without hesitation, and Behemoth and Bile pledge to protect him, severing their ties to their former master. The Baron, defeated, vanishes into obscurity, leaving behind only echoes of the destruction he once controlled. Tim returns to the bakery with Ida and her mother, bringing the two former henchmen, now rats, along with them, choosing a simple life over cursed wealth. His laughter fills the neighborhood once again, not as a commodity, but as a living part of who he is. Though the mansion and fortune are gone, the warmth of connection replaces the emptiness wealth once masked, and Tim finally feels whole again, grounded in the place where his story truly began. If you enjoyed this cinematic movie recap and want more dark fantasy stories, epic transformations, and unforgettable characters, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you're always first to catch the next upload, share your thoughts in the comments, and keep watching more incredible movie recaps right here.